Yeah, so we're back. Yeah, I'm not playing that fucking game. It like lags the entire fucking stream. So I'm just gonna let it go. Okay. We can react to some videos if we like. Yo,
Okay, I am back. Just
Okay, I
again.
am back. Just again.
yeah. So yeah, we're live.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah, can hear you. So if is unknown like active or he's still not?
No,
No,
he's still not
he's
active.
still not active.
I
Maybe we
see.
can try to bring
We can
Jazzy.
try to bring
Let's
Jazzy.
try.
Let's try.
Yeah, try to ask him.
Let's still.
Let's do.
Hi, Toa. Haven't seen you for a while. Like the only time I have seen you is on streams. Okay, so I was gonna set something up.
But yeah, basically,
But yeah,
the
basically, the unknown guy was
responding to JJ
responding
in
to
a
JJ
certain
in
video.
a certain video.
Yeah,
That video I already
That
debunked
video
in
I
the
already
comment
debunked
section,
in
and
the
they are
comment
all
section, and they are all
misconceptions that have already been
misconceptions that have
settled a
already
long
been
time
settled
ago.
a long time
I'm
ago.
pretty sure
I'm
that
pretty
the guy
sure
whose name
that
is
the guy
Rash
whose name
Plays
is Rash Plays
probably just lost
probably
a
just
debate
lost
or
a
something.
debate or something.
Then he went
Then
ahead to make
he
that kind
went
of
ahead to
video.
make that kind of video.
I think they don't like understand what when they like lose a debate or a discussion. They still keep that just for the sake of what we call that. Uh, the word just slipped through my fucking mind.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not the
Agenda,
end of the
agenda,
world if you
agenda,
lose a discussion.
agenda, agenda.
Yeah.
That's for the fucking
Yeah.
agenda.
I mean, it's not even
I
an
mean, it's
agenda
not
at
even
this
an
point.
agenda at this point.
Yeah, it's just fucking stupidity.
Until unknown.
Still on.
And that's saying something.
And
by
that's
the
saying something by the.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Okay.
You know, that's saying something
You know,
because
that's
I
saying something
myself,
because
I'm not
I-
exactly a good debater, and yet I can debate much better than people like JJ and Comic Creator, and that's saying something. I'll tell you guys something. I haven't debated like once in my life, at all. Like at all, I haven't debated. The only time you can actually consider I have like officially debated was against JJ, and he couldn't even justify what Jacko was lying.
The fact is, they literally, appeal to a scan that literally is fucking mistranslated, and the guy will literally like made the scan also literally says that the universe is infinite in size, and they still cannot like understand that the scan is wrong. So I don't understand why the fuck do they even like bother using that scan anymore and still like try to argue the same thing over and over. No, not
Mind you,
really.
Creator.
Oh, wait, Creator actually has the like Japanese has the Japanese in his own computer, but he just doesn't want to share it because he knows for a fact that it will go against his own narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, for Kulga, the thing is, I didn't actually fix the problem. It's like an issue for fucking years now. But basically, whenever someone speaks, you can hear their voice through my mic as well. It's a issue for low-end PC users, by the way. Yes, I do. It's within. Actually, let me just share it. I think I can, right? So where is my? Let's see if this works. Oh, never mind. It's a fucking QR code. Okay, so here's the issue. If you do want to join, like if you can, yes, just scan the QR code on top. You will automatically like get an invitation to my server. For some reason, I can't like show a direct link to the server.
You can post it
You
in the
can
chat.
post it in the chat.
Oh yeah, I fucking forgot about that. Wait, does the link work? Like they can, would they need to like copy it, or like actually the link will work? Like they can.
I think it will work.
Okay, it works. It actually works. The comment is pinned, and it basically just is interactable. So it basically anyone who wants to like join the server, they can just touch the link. Yeah. So I was gonna say, let's just watch the video about Guru and versus Megamind, like the one we were talking about. And the thing is, what was his name again? Goji
Rash.
Chronix. Goji Chronix or something. He actually made a video on it. And he unironically somehow got Guru like into that multi-city block level of power.
I want to just say something before we start. Apparently, people of comic of like the dumb asses who think themselves power scalers say that terms like attack potency and destructive capabilities are somehow like fan fiction we are applying, which is stupid. Like, what fan fiction are you talking about, bro? Like, we're
They are
saying that if
literally
a character
in real life things. They are literally in real life things, like the attack potency, a potential of the attack, or the potency of the attack. Sorry, and then there is DC, which is the destructive capability of an attack. For example, a nuke can like destroy an entire city, but the destruction it does is just like the surface of the city. That does not mean that the energy it releases is like lesser than the destruction it does.
Also,
Like
on that
these are
note,
actual real life things.
yeah. Also, on that note, like he thinks that because Toriyama never used these terms, somehow they are not true. Like, bro, why is it like necessary for Toriyama to use it? He can just display through visuals and actions. Like, it's not necessary. I want to know what kind of fan fiction are we applying here. Like, I want to know what is the fan fiction specifically we are applying here. Attack potency. It's how much, like, for example, we say Jiraiya has the attack potency of being able to destroy a mountain, but he never destroyed a mountain before, right? However, in the guidebooks of Naruto, it says that the giant Rasengan can destroy a mountain, right? So we say that character.
Have you seen machine that people like punch a lot to get a number on how strong their punch is? Yeah, those are basically attack potency quantifiers. So
Yeah,
like
that's basically
Yeah,
it.
even
that's
if you
basically it.
that there's little machines that literally quantify how much the potency your punch has. So I don't understand why do people even say these are fan made terms.
Mm. On that note, even if they are fan made, by the way, even if they are like fan made, they are just used analytically. It's not like we are adding details into the story or like trying to change the story in a kind of way. We are just analyzing it. That's what power scaling is. It's analyzing the story to get an actual scale of the characters. Character X is
Character,
mountain level because he can destroy a mountain. That's it.
Yeah,
Like
the
damn.
funny thing is
damn.
the argument he used that Toriyama doesn't use these terms, so that these are not usable. The fact is, literally no author in the entire fucking world uses those terms. Morata doesn't use it. Uh, Oda doesn't use it. JJ doesn't use it. Literally, no one uses that. They just, make their own story, give them their own feats, their own attack potency and stuff. They don't necessarily need to use their fucking terms. Like for one,
And
And
Gojo can destroy a building at best. Next thing you know, he can destroy a fucking country. So
yeah,
yeah,
the author doesn't necessarily need to fucking explain, oh, Gojo has this much attack potency, so this is why he was able to do that. No, that's not something the author focuses on. He focuses on the story and the build up and plot and etc. The
and then
power
he goes
progression
and
is
ahead
then he
saying
something.
that
goes ahead saying that
and then he goes ahead saying
and then
that
he
I somehow agreed with him about the attack point being made up names, and somehow says that I conceded the point to him. Bro, your point in the first place makes no sense because nobody here is trying to argue that they are using these terms. The argument is that you think that these terms are like fan fiction, like we are applying our own our own version of the story into the story itself. That's not how it works. That's not fan fiction. Do you even know what the term fan fiction is? I don't think he knows that.
Yeah, yeah, like literally. I don't understand why do people even say shit like that when they don't even fucking understand it. Use manners to someone. Okay, what the fuck is this? Okay, so
I could do content
you
creation
can't
myself, but honestly, I am
yourself,
really
but
not good
honestly,
at
I
it,
am
nor
really
am I
not
good
good
at
at it,
editing.
nor am I good at editing.
I'd rather not. I
I'd
don't
rather
want that
not.
much
I don't
attention to
want that much
myself.
attention to myself.
what the fuck? What just happened? He's Megs. On Discord, he's known as Amd. If you are aware, this is what his username is usually is. I just typed it in the chat.
Sorry, I accidentally left.
Don't be left.
I see. I thought I did something.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, what I want to know until now, Red, is how do you actually not able to get as many views as Drip, considering that your own videos are very well detailed? Really, why? This is really not fair.
Fair.
I think it's about consistency because I sometimes don't like upload videos regularly, like weekly or monthly. Sometimes I go on a hiatus. Like for example, there's a huge gap between some of my videos. Some are like weekly and some are like months apart. So I think it's about fucking consistency, which is why I don't think I get much views like that. Like when I first restarted uploading my videos on YouTube, I did get like decent views. Now I just barely get like 500.
Mm.
Anyway, let's watch this video and see where does he has Guru and Megamind. I did try to
Yeah.
watch it, but then I
Yeah.
thought we can just stream this.
Yeah, okay.
The villain to hero trope is a very popular literary device that tons of narratives fall under, but perhaps the most prominent examples from this generation are Gru from the Despicable Me franchise and Megamind from, well, Megamind. Both of these stories revolve supervillains who start out as outcasts, but eventually throughout the film, they're eventually brought into the light. So narratively, these guys have a lot in common. Both of the movies came out around the same time, and both of these guys are very tech-savvy individuals with numerous minions, guns, ships, and tons of other things in their arsenal. So seeing as how both of these IPs are relevant at the moment due to the Megamind sequel, in quotes by the way, and the fourth installment in the Despicable Me franchise dropping later this year, I don't think there's a better time to discuss this matchup. Personally, I love to talk about a wide variety of media and characters. So if you're a fan of the usual content but want to see more characters on the channel, be sure to like the video up to show your support for topics like this. And hey, if you're new here, we post shorts every other day as well as main videos every Friday. So if you want consistent content from me on your feed, I got you. To set up the stage for today's topic, let's say that upon Metro Man's quote-unquote death, Megamind has effectively been running amok throughout the city. And with Metro Man gone, the city's effectively defenseless. The anti-villain league catches this and assigns Gru to take down Megamind. As a former villain himself,
न्यू सेंसोडाइन कैविटी प्लस सेंसिटिविटी ये दांतों पे एक प्रोटेक्टिव लेयर फॉर्म करके कैविटी से बचाता है और हसासियत से भी आराम देता है।
बिरयानी तो बना ली, लेकिन असल मेहनत अब शुरू होगी। इस चिकनाई के सर दर्द को एक वॉश में हटाओ। सिरके की पावर वाला नया विम।
And the guy who really stole the moon, they determined that he's the best guy for the case. So this will be an in-character encounter, so Megamind has access to all of his main assets, and Gru gets all of his gear as well as a couple of minions to back him up. Could Gru put away Megamind for good? Or Megamind needs to remind everyone why he's the new ruler of Metro City. So without wasting any more of you guys' time, let's get into today's matchup. Seeing as how you guys loved the last video, let's start off with Megamind. Alright, so obviously Megamind's main stuff is his tech, but don't let that fool you as he does have some physical things that we're going to have to talk about, such as his durability and speed, because the speed at which
Did you saw the message by Drip Sauce in the server? He just
Yeah, I'm reading it right
Yeah,
now.
I'm reading it right now.
Yeah. Viltrumite slams who? This is Guru versus Megamind.
Yeah, I think he thinks Viltrumite slammed Metro Man.
Now, I actually kind of agree because Metro Man doesn't have any actual good feats aside from, arguably being able to tank the solar ray, which is multi-continental.
Not to mention he's
Not
so
to
fast
mention
that
he's so
basically
fast
time stop.
Time stop.
Yeah.
I don't think Superman.
think,
I don't think Superman or anyone displayed that level of speed.
That level of speed.
Yeah, even if we ignore that, the thing is, unlike them, Metro Man doesn't need to accelerate to reach those speeds. He's basically the Flash without the speed force.
Yeah.
he shoots and uses his devices is something that's going to be very important, especially against someone as surprisingly agile as Gru. So let's get right into that. Megamind for his physical AP feats pretty much has nothing, as you would expect. He's kind of displayed to be kind of scrawny and weak physically, which isn't really surprising that given that his entire character is that he's a super genius and that his brain is a superpower. So let's talk about his base technical capabilities. As Megamind puts it, there are villains and then there are super villains, with the difference being presentation. So Megamind has a lot of inventions that I like to call popcorn tech, where they just seem to boost up his aura and stuff. They're not really combat applicable. Gear that seems to fit into this category are things such as his Black Mamba, which is really just a cape, but it's a pretty nice cape to be fair. He also has his brain bots, which can seemingly create massive thunderclouds throughout the film, and he can also use them to create huge projections of himself, which is something most infamously used at the climax of the original film. These guys seem to be mostly show, as they haven't really shown any real technical offensive options, but they can be used as getaway options for Megamind if he finds himself in a tough corner, such as showcased against Titan. But for more offensive options, we have to talk about his mace spray, which has been shown to knock people out unconscious. He also has his forget me stick, as he calls it, which is literally just a black bat that he uses to knock people out. Obviously, this stuff is pretty poopy, not gonna lie, but for actual useful offensive options, let's dive into the Megamind game, where he has his Tesla.
He's using the game.
Wait, what
Is
the
it
fuck?
the game?
There's actually a fucking game? Let me just search it
I
out.
mean, can it even be applied?
What?
I mean, if you,
I mean, yeah,
I'm, not
Megamind
even,
does have a
Megamind
game.
does have a game.
I'm not even aware of the fucking game.
You think that a popular movie like this will not get a game?
This will not
Bro,
get a game.
Yeah, fair
Meet
point.
the Robinsons
Oh.
have a game, and there are other movies as well that has a game.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a Xbox 360 version of the game. It's called Megamind: The Ultimate Showdown.
glove, which can fire electricity, which Megamind uses.
I think that glove was like within the show. I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
Yeah, I think. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
though.
think. I'm not
Let's
sure,
see.
though.
Let's see.
Let's see.
To stun his opponents, and he also has his blower glove, which can be used to knock enemies around. But Megamind's most infamous offensive option is his D-gun, which has multiple settings that I will put on screen here. While a lot of these options are very, very useful, Megamind seems to cling on to the dehydration effect, which turns his opponents into cubes after sucking up all their water. I want to take this time to talk about Megamind's wide variety of capabilities, as I think it's pretty notable. One instance of
The funny thing is he uses that gun like the most. Every
Yeah.
time he uses a gun, he always uses the dehydration mode.
this would be him turning the Atlantic Ocean into jello, which is a multi-continental feat. He can also create huge constructs that can encase entire cities and shoot them into space, with the kinetic energy of these said constructs getting into the gigatons. Massive shout out being to Comic Book Myths, by the way, as he gave me the calc for that. So if you're interested in, the math of these things, be sure to give his channel some love. But anyways, his most powerful weapon seems to be his Death Ray, which notably harnesses the full concentrated power of the sun. And if we were to lowball and say that the beam was equivalent to 1 second of the sun's solar output, the yield of this blast would be equivalent to around 91 petatons, which is more powerful than 1 billion SAR bombs. But for more conventional battle weapons, he has numerous mechs such as his Megamind, as well as his battlesuit, which he uses against Titan, in which he honestly did a pretty decent job of showing relativity to him, being able to hurt him, fight on par with him, and stuff like that. Titan is a character who has a small portion of Metro Man's power, with his most impressive feat involving him literally throwing a skyscraper, which gets into the city block ranges. Megamind has also designed a Metro Man inspired suit that was meant to replicate all of his powers. Though I want to note, Metro Man spent his entire career against Megamind holding back, so the suit likely doesn't scale to Metro Man's higher end stuff, as Megamind is more than likely not very aware of it. But Megamind still has a very impressive showing in this Metro Man inspired suit, as he's literally able to
Okay, stop
chuck
right
the
there.
Megamind into the air. With
I think this is also valid. So when the death battle comes, they don't say that Megamind can replicate Metro Man's power on a 1-to-1 scale, because I'm pretty sure that even Megamind is not aware of all of the Metro Man's capabilities, since he most certainly doesn't know about the super speed thing.
Yeah, but I think aside from speed, he should know about the recent stunt, because this takes place after the events of the movie, right? And in the movie, he knows that he was able to survive the full concentrated power of the sun, right? So I think that should be kind of applied, but again, he could just not apply that, because we know Metro Man didn't technically tank the attack, but rather, outspeed it. So yeah. But realistically, if we think about it, he should apply the Death Ray as well for his suit.
Durability at least.
Yeah.
Okay,
calculations asserting that in this suit, Megamind can exert forces equivalent to 615 tons of TNT, which is enough power to destroy multiple city blocks. And yeah, Megamind has a bunch of other tech that isn't very combat applicable. Things that would fall into this category are his invisible car and hover bike, which, I mean, what am I supposed to say? He drives them.
It's time to unleash.
I mean, he drives them. At least he's better than anything.
So let's move
I mean,
into
he drives
Megamind's
them.
physical
Hold on,
stats.
what's that?
Megamind has a cartoon character.
I mean, he does drive them, but
does
this is
drive
better
them,
than
but-
nothing.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of the gun that he uses all the time, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, Gru does have the freeze gun being his most consistent weapon, and Megamind has that dehydration ray that he actually uses as his most consistent weapon. Wonder what's gonna happen when both of them clash.
So the thing is, I think the dehydration gun should win, considering it completely dehydrates your body and turns you into a cube. And the freezing gun is just like literally just freezes you. So basically, it's ice versus dehydration.
Yeah,
They're
you can
basically-
basically
Yeah,
block it with a
Block it
flamethrower.
with a flame-
Yeah.
Character is kind of a reverse glass cannon. As glass cannons are characters who can't endure what they dish out, Megamind seems to be the exact opposite, as he can endure blows that are way above his physical pay grade. This would include strikes from Titan, a character who can no-sell Megamind's amped physical blows. He can also endure being in close proximity to a gas tank explosion, and in the comic book, he can also no-sell a large building level explosion. As for his speed now, Megamind is consistently faster than any real person, as he can fight on par with Titan in his mech suit. And while yes, Megamind's blows and durability were amped to the suit, he was still physically the one controlling and reacting to Titan during this encounter. Megamind throughout the film is also pretty consistent.
Yeah, aside from his strength, durability, and stuff, his speed is the most consistent one out of all. Like, he's the fastest person alive aside from Metro Man.
You mean Titan?
No, Megamind.
Hmm.
Like, he's the fastest person alive in terms of reaction aside from Metro Man, who is like not just can react fast but also move fast.
I see.
Consistently shown to be on similar speed terms as Titan, so it's not even inconsistent. Most impressively though, Megamind can react and dodge lightning from Doom Syndicate members, with this particular instance getting calculated to be in the massively hypersonic ranges. And while yes, Megamind has a feat where he can seemingly perceive Metro Man in an instance where they're both flying in crafts that are flying at speeds massively faster than the speed of light. But just because you can perceive something doesn't mean that you can react at that speed. We all can see lightning, but no one is dodging it. So I'd say consistently, Megamind is around the massively hypersonic ranges. Megamind overall is a genius with a very impressive arsenal of gadgets and tech, and even some sleeper physical stats. So overall, Gru's got some pretty deep competition. But before we make any conclusions, let's talk about Gru himself. While Gru from the Despicable Me franchise is very reliant on his tech and weaponry, the IP as a whole seems to be more out there with the main protagonist's inherent base stats, especially durability and attack potency. He can one-shot sharks and even shrug off their attacks. He can matrix dodge freaking missiles, and heck, he doesn't even need to get out of the way considering he was able to get hit with this and survive. And this is only stuff from the first movie, so before we talk about his technology and arsenal, how powerful is Gru exactly? And let me advise you guys, get prepared to get stupid because I promise you, you will be surprised. Alright, there's no more beating around the bush. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but the Despicable Me franchise is consistently in the large building to large town ranges of power. I know, it might seem crazy what I'm about to say, and honestly, it's still a bit of a hard sell no matter how consistent it happens to be. But despite this, let me go out of my way to talk about every major instance of Despicable Me characters that Gru should scale to, performing or just scaling to his level of power. Let's start off slow. During the climax of the film Minions, Scarlet Overkill is able to endure being slapped through multiple buildings with a feat of durability that gets
That's mostly her mech suit. I don't
Yeah.
think that necessarily counts as a durability feat, but again, the upper body wasn't completely, covered, so she technically does scale to it.
I mean, if you think
Calculated
about
to
it, if you think about it, like The fight between Megamine and Gru is mostly going to be a fight among weapons and rather than skills. If it comes down to skills, it's basically when they exhaust all of their own arsenals. And I want to know how Death Battle's gonna do this. Like, are they able like to make a consistent scale or show that that they will exhaust each other's arsenal? That's the problem, because honestly, I don't see that happening, because Megamind has more of a versatile and much more expensive arsenal than Gru. Even if Gru has like thousands of minions.
Cell, no matter how consistent.
Yeah, that's like it's gonna be biggest issue. But pretty sure his robots can just simply take each minion and get rid of them. You know, taking them anywhere.
Flung them to space.
But then
Flung
again,
them to space.
Lump them to space.
Yeah, that can. Now that I think about it, they can do that. Which then
And
gonna
speaking-
lead to which then gonna lead to a fight between on one fight, which Gru takes.
Yeah, Gru is 100% going to take it if it's like a one-on-one fight. I don't even need to tell you what this guy did to a shark. A shark. He no-diffed a shark without looking.
Literally. And I don't think that was a shark. That was like a small megalon or whatever it's called. Megalodon. I think that's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a small
Megalodon.
megalodon.
Yeah, it's Megalodon.
Yeah. So basically, it wasn't even a shark.
Happens to be. But despite this, let me go out of my way to talk about every major instance of Despicable Me characters that Gru should scale to, performing or just scaling to his level of power. Let's start off slow. During the climax of the film Minions, Scarlet Overkill is able to endure being slapped through multiple buildings with a feat of durability that gets calculated to be in the large building ranges of power. I don't think anyone is going to argue with me when I say that Gru should physically
Is the calculation he gets from VSBW? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. These are from VSBW. To be honest with you, some of the calculations are just bad, like really, really bad. So
I mean,
I try to use my
honestly-
own calculations.
Honestly,
But even when my calculations are wrong, I try to look up a more consistent calculation that matches mine. Yeah. So anyway, the reason I've like stopped the video to show you, like, just look at how big the shark is. Sorry, it's not a shark. That's I can assure you, because a shark is not that big compared to a fucking human.
speaking of which,
speaking of which,
Yeah.
What was I about to say? I think the unknown guy is better at calculating than most of VSBW, honestly. I mean, the unknown guy gave us a calculation in regards to the son of the afterlife, and he's like using a conservative scale. And he also gave us the scale of the amount of rocks that Goku lifted when Frieza flung the mountain at him. Yeah, that's the thing here.
Yeah, but again, those images are different. I also use pixel scaling, but again, at the end of the day, they are not to be taken seriously.
Yeah, they're
They're
not
just fucking-
reliable.
they're
They're
not
not very good.
reliable. They're not
They're
very
not
good.
Yeah.
physically be more powerful than Scarlet Overkill. So let's just move on to the next feat. And we're gonna have to dive into the new short, Moon. That's all about Vector from the first movie. During the duration of this short, he performs a very impressive feat of attack potency. I can't show the clip because I don't think it's been officially released yet, but Vector was able to shake an entire crater on the moon. I don't want to get into the exact specifics of it due to fear of copyright, so in the link in the description, I have linked an entire thread of feats of durability and attack potency from the Despicable Me universe. I want to shout out this
Okay,
thread
stop right there.
specifically as because of it, I was able to Shima not he was able to get hit.
Okay, stop right there, and let's see that link. Yeah, here, and let's see that link. No, I mean the link about them like shooting the rock and such.
shooting the rock and such.
This is the link. Like this is where it got missed.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the exact link. Megamind minions laser through the air. Wait, what? Wait, what feat is this? Holy shit.
What's wrong?
what's wrong?
Yeah, I'm about to like share this. I literally
Mega
fucking
Minion laser.
forgot about.
Minion laser.
Yeah,
Through the Earth,
They literally-
64.6
yeah.
megatons of TNT.
this definitely is a fucking low ball, but because of how fast the laser went through the earth, let me just show it. Yeah, like just look at how fast the fucking laser went from this side of the earth to the other side of the earth. It's basically like total of 5 seconds.
And that's considering like even in universe time isn't necessarily accurate with the full on time with the actual IRL time.
Yeah, but this is why I'm saying that realistically it should be like around 4 to 5 seconds. Unless usually these feats are exaggerated. For all we know, it happened in an instant. Just the laser was being shown, as a traveling feat. But yeah, this is definitely a low ball feat, by the way. This should be around in 100 megaton or something. Okay, so the next feat is Vector causes an earthquake by just trying to destroy a rock. Okay, so this video is not available. Gru's heat really melted a carnival games. Anti-villain. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so there are durability feats. Kevin and Scarlet Overkill can survive a nuke? I'm pretty sure Kevin can, but Scarlet. Actually, yeah. I literally forgot about this, but Scarlet actually fucking tanked a nuke.
Her mech or her herself?
I think it was her mech because she literally ended up covering herself up.
Damn.
Still,
Yeah, that's impressive, honestly.
that should tell you that her mech is just that much more durable. There's also Vector survived the kinetic energy of a growing moon, which is large town level. I don't think the heat actually tanked the energy of the growing moon. I don't think that's necessarily a durability feat. Because you can be like standing on something that's growing doesn't necessarily like apply to your durability. There's also Vector is unfazed by being yanked by Gru's rocket. Yeah, town level. El Macho can survive an explosion that devastated a volcano. Yeah, this is like one of the most talked about feats because some people believe he didn't actually do that, while some believe he did. It's actually debatable. Yeah, he literally says that it's a debatable feat. There's Guru can survive being hit by the least 4 nukes. A PX-41 minion can eat a nuke. Yeah, but again, those said nukes needs to like be given actual strength because otherwise, for all we know, the nuke can just be
Oh.
building
Also,
level.
I don't think Gru survived the nukes directly. Also, I don't think the Gru survived the nukes directly.
Yeah. So Scarlet Overkill can survive being hit. Yeah, this is he already presented this. So yeah, that's about it. The biggest feat here is Scarlet Overkill and Ken being able to survive a nuke. And the other biggest feat is where did it go?
Let's continue the video for now.
Vector from the first movie. During the duration of the short, he performs a very impressive feat of attack potency. I can't show the clip because I don't think it's been officially released yet, but Vector was able to shake an entire crater on the moon. I don't want to get into the exact specifics of it due to fear of copyright, so in the link in the description, I have linked an entire thread of feats of durability and attack potency.
Red. The mic. Your mic is repeating.
Yes. Yeah, sorry about that.
Specifically, as because of it, I was able to find all of these feats. But anyways, Gru should scale above Vector physically for very obvious reasons. As for starters, he's implied to be able to beat Vector up during the climax of the original film. And according to the AVL fires, Vector is considered not a threat physically to any AVL agent, and that would include Gru. Using this line of scaling, we can get into Vector's other feats. As for starters, he was able to no-sell the force of being yanked onto a rocket ship, which is a feat of durability that requires almost 4 whole kilotons, which would put his durability in the small town ranges. And this is consistent as during the end of the film, Vector is able to no-sell the kinetic energy of the moon growing back to its normal size, and due to the calculations on screen, it's been asserted that he can endure 115 kilotons of TNT. To put this absurd level of power into perspective, the nukes that decimated Hiroshima and Nagasaki were around 16 to 21 kilotons worth of power, respectively. For more consistency, the minions during the finale of Despicable Me 3 were able to no-sell a gigantic wad of bubblegum popping on their faces. Considering that this chunk of bubblegum took up a large chunk of Los Angeles, the force of this pop gets calculated to be in the town ranges, and these guys no-sold it point blank. In a likely canon short to the Despicable Me franchise featuring these minions, a couple of them were able to survive a bomb explosion that caused an earthquake subsequently, which at bare minimum gets to small town, and at absolute highest gets decently into the megatons, or city level.
This motherfucker can dead-ass solo the JJK universe. Yeah. If we go with the high ends, he can solo the entire JJK universe. Like, what the fuck? City level? That's more than enough to solo the JJK.
I mean, if you think about it, JJK don't have anything on that level. Attack potency-wise.
Yeah. So, like, he's more than enough to, like, solo the entire fucking JJK. And speed-wise, it even gets, like, fucking worse because Guru actually has some relativistic to faster-than-light speed metals. But let's just continue the video. I think he is going to go over those speeds.
We know that Gru scales to the minions physically and should likely be more durable than them, as he can fight amped minions and he can send them flying with his kicks. And he's also shown to overpower them casually and toss them around. Keep in mind, these purple minions can literally arguably eat nukes and just sit there unfazed. We know that these weapons are nuclear as they have the ionizing radiation symbol on them, which would mean that at bare minimum, this bomb right here is around building level to even small town level. And I think it's basic common sense that these purple minions are stronger than these yellow minions who have town to sea level feats of durability. And Gru can just stomp them out and kick them around. And there's still some more feats that I don't feel like mentioning, but we went over 7 unique instances of building to large town ends of power that Gru scales to. Now, if it was 1 time, that's an outlier. If it's 2 times, that's a little weird, but 7 whole unique times, at a certain point, you just gotta accept it. Not only were these feats of durability really consistent, there's also really easy ways to assert that Gru can injure these characters as well. So in conclusion, the Despicable Me characters, or at least the major ones, have some sort of Toon Force going on. And I haven't even begun to cover their speed as well, because just like their attack potency,
Yeah, okay,
it's
stop right there,
equally as
stop right there.
ludicrous.
Before he goes to
Browser-based games are dead. Watch this.
Red, stop
A
right
good
there. Before he
benchmark
goes
of
to
speed.
Before he goes to speed. He says that they have some kind of Toon Force. Yeah, I'm gonna need some actual justification for that. I'm gonna need some actual proper justification for that, not just some speculation. Because that's like going way above and beyond what we're supposed to be.
Yeah, so where did he say this? Because I was like actually fucking gone to drink some water.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I think
he,
that was
like,
like 10 seconds or
10
15
seconds
seconds
or
ago.
15 seconds ago.
Let's just rewatch the video from.
Have some sort of Toon Force going on. And I haven't. There's also really easy ways to assert that Gru can injure these characters as well. So in conclusion, the Despicable Me characters, or at least the major ones, have some sort of Toon Force going on. And
Pretty sure that's not how Toon Force even works.
I haven't
Yeah.
even begun to cover their speed as well, because just like their attack potency, it's equally as ludicrous. A good benchmark of speed for pretty much anyone in the verse comes to us from Vector, as it comes to us from the New Moon short as well. Basically, in the middle of the short, Vector propels himself in an attempt to escape the moon, but due to its intense gravity, he finds himself just looping around it. The moon's equilateral circumference is around 6,783.5 miles, and due to Vector's endpoint compared to where he started, and due to the overall time that it took him to travel this amount of space, and it's been determined that during this instance here, he was traveling at around Mach 8,287, or around massively hypersonic plus, a tier of speed that's just sitting barely below baseline relativistic, sitting at around 0.95% the speed of light. Now, obviously, Vector doesn't scale to this like travel speed-wise, but his reactions certainly do, as while traveling at the speed, he was going to hit a huge boulder, and he quickly reacts by tossing a lasso around a rock while traveling around at the speed. So Vector, while traveling at 0.95% the speed of light, is able to react in real time to his environment and toss a rope quicker than he can continue to move. Gru is narratively faster than Vector, as he's shocked that Gru is able to dodge his missiles, granting Gru massively hypersonic plus even relativistic speed scaling as well. And just like the APNs, it's actually kind of consistent in the verse, as you have Balthazar Brat is able to casually evade and react to laser-type guns. And in Despicable Me 2, Gru has a feat where he's able to disappear into the background in the time it takes a light to flash, and then he's able to return in the time that it takes.
Yeah, that's fucking faster than light. Yeah, no, that was actually a misconception. Drip clarified that he wasn't actually going to like kill himself, but rather he was just.
Wait.
only-
Let's stop right now. Hold on. Let's stop right now for a moment here, because we can't say things like that in stream.
Yeah, but sorry
I'm gonna
about that.
clarify.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna clarify.
I may have.
First of all, some things happened, and yes, Drip did kind of like try to harm
Just say
himself.
KHS. Yeah, just say KHS.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say harm. Anyway, but everything is okay now, and he's okay, and he's trying to focus more on his own progression and everything, applying, and eventually, I think him and his own girlfriend is gonna like come back together, hopefully. But we're just better to wait it out, and because this has like nothing to do with us, and I think that it's better if Drip like tries to solve this himself, because we ourselves have like nothing to do with this.
Yeah, just saying that he's better than before, and he's actually like active in Discord and actually talking to people. So that's actually a sign of him being better.
I also like gave him a video to like debunk. Maybe he will try to debunk it if someone tries to sponsor it. But I can't. If I can sponsor him, I would. But I'm broke as hell.
Yeah, same here. Anyway, let's just get back to the topic of this video.
Takes another light to flash. So Gru's around massively hypersonic to even probably more than likely relativistic plus. Okay, so with all that craziness out the way, let's talk about Gru's base tech and arsenal. While Gru isn't as smart as Megamind in my opinion, Gru is no joke a genius, as even as a child, he could create working rocket ships. He also presumably created his flying scooter for himself. So let's get into his technology and weapons. Alright, and this part's going to be pretty simple because since we scaled Gru's physical stats, we can just assert that all of his main offensive weapons are in that same range at the very least. So they should still fall into the large building to large town level in terms of like power. And since we're getting really crazy still, I have to address this. Attack potency and the destructive range of a weapon or a character aren't inherently intertwined. So when I say Gru has large building to town level AP, I'm not saying he can destroy a town with a single punch. That's just ridiculous. I'm just saying that his physical blows and his weapons would need to be outputting relative energy in order to be injuring characters who can no-sell that stuff. So starting off with his more chill weapons, Gru has a fart gun.
First of all,
pretty
stop right there.
self-explanatory right there.
Okay, stop right there. First of all, I do agree that his own weapons do scale to that level, but Gru himself, no, I don't think so. Maybe he can tank it or like survive it, but he doesn't have it. Most certainly, he's not being hit directly by it. In none of the shows is he hit directly by it. I don't think so.
Yeah, so I don't think he necessarily scale the gun necessarily scales to those levels.
Gru also has Lipstick Taser, which is notably shown to incapacitate and amped El Macho, a character who should be stronger than Gru himself. So Gru's weapon scaling above his own attack potency is pretty consistent. Gru's favorite weapon though is his freeze.
We just said he never got attacked by one, and now he just did.
Yeah, this guy is not gonna survive. I always imagine, is this guy gonna survive in an actual discussion? Yeah, no, I don't think so. But hey, Goji, I'm not like insulting you or anything. You're a cool guy, but that's kind of like contradictory here, bro.
Ray, which shoots a cryogenic laser that freezes pretty much anything in its way. The weapon is shot at minus 100 degrees, and it's also a laser, so that would mean that it's shot at the speed of light.
Yeah, not necessarily. Because again, anything that's called a laser doesn't automatically mean it's light speed.
No, but the thing
No,
is,
but
it's
the
most
thing is,
certainly
it's
is because you
most
see,
certainly
laser
is.
in
You see,
itself
laser
is like an
itself
acronym
is
for
an
that.
acronym for
Light
that.
amplification.
Amplification,
For example,
for example,
okay, Red, please, the mic first.
The mic first.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, so you see, laser starts with like, it's basically an acronym, okay? And it literally starts with light amplification. So yeah, I think everything that is described as laser would be canonically light speed. And it can be proven because laser in itself is an actual acronym for a word.
I mean, then again, isn't like chronogenic lasers, what the one he's referring to should have like some higher, heavier density and stuff, which
It's probably because of the nature of energy itself.
Yeah, so wouldn't that just like downscale it?
I'm not sure, honestly. If it's about the freeze ray specifically, then yeah, I think it does like not travel at the speed of light. Yeah, I think you're right because it's not displayed in that kind of way because the particles basically is much more denser and much more heavier, so they don't travel at the speed of light.
Light. And El Macho was able to block it, and Gru was able to evade him and stuff like that. So Gru being in that relativistic range is just getting more and more consistent. But I mean, he actually just has lasers as well, so that's another light speed thing that he has. For higher end and more useful stuff, Gru has access to his father's villain suit, which grants its users sticky, camo, inflation, and a whole bunch of other things that he can use to evade things or sneak into places. He has X-ray goggles, grappling hooks, jetpacks, rocket launchers, as well as a variety of vehicles which can provide many offensive options. I mean, look at the firepower on this thing right here. Keep in mind, all of these weapons should scale to Gru's own attack potency at the very least. And most infamously, Gru has his shrink ray, which can shrink even such large constructs as the moon. But I want to point out that the effects are temporary, and all of the things shrunken will eventually return to their original size. But seeing as how a large construct like the moon took a couple of hours to get back to its normal size, I think it's safe to say that anything that's shot by this gun is going to be small for a minute. So overall, while Gru might not have been the greatest villain of all time or anything like that, with his physical stats, skill, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Gru was proficient in multiple forms of combat. Stack that on top of his loaded arsenal, his speed, and it's safe to say that anyone who gets on his bad side is going to find him quite despicable.
So I'm writing an
Stop
essay
right
on
there. Stop right there. Okay, so pretty much like let's get one thing out of the way. The shrink ray. Does Gru actually have
Past and
access
art
to that
history.
or not? That's what
I'm
we
an
have to
art
ask ourselves first.
So with that being
If he does have access to it, maybe the battle will actually go a lot in Gru's favor. But we don't actually know because I don't think he has access to it in his own arsenal right now. If we're gonna
Yeah,
give it to
I
him,
don't
let's
think-
give an argument, then it's gonna-
Yeah, I don't think he actually has access to that because that was a stolen weapon, which I think got confiscated by him from the whatever they're called. I think they're the FBI of his universe, but basically they confiscated him from Guru. So I don't think he actually has access to that.
being said, who wins? And at first glance, fight arsenal, his speed, and it's safe to say that anyone who gets on his bad side is going to find him quite despicable. So with that being said, who wins? And at first glance, yeah, the Despicable Me verse is very, very powerful. But I forgot to talk about some Megamind metas, so let's get right into that real quick. Alright, first of all, Megamind's higher end tech should scale relative to Titan, whose best feat is not throwing a skyscraper. His best feat is dispersing a large crowd of Megamind brainbots. And this feat comes out to around small town level. So that's pretty good, pretty good. And if you want to use novelization, Megamind does have an instance of him dodging lasers, right? According to the text on screen anyways. So using this, at least in terms of speed, they would be relative now, but there's still a pretty decent, AP gap. And it's also the fact that Megamind in character isn't as evil as he seems to be. Like, Megamind's only real hope of incapacitating Gru would be utilizing his higher end stuff, such as his Metro Man suit or his mechs. But let's just say that a Forget Me Stick's not going to work on Gru. The only real piece of technology that Megamind has, right, in his base and uses pretty consistently in character that I think has a chance of beating Gru would be his dehydration gun. But the fact that Megamind never ever attempted to use it against Titan or Metro Man kind of gives me the impression that if you far outscale Megamind, it's probably not going to work on you anyways. It's also the fact that Gru can
first of all,
just
stop
dodge
right there.
everything as fast as he.
Yeah, first of all, I agree with one thing. Gru is 100% dodging the dehydration rate. He 100% will. It's not even a competition, considering how much of a good good reflexes Gru has. As for the dehydration rate not working, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Gru, in the end of the day, is just like a normal human being, and it will 100% affect him. Even you can call him like superhuman as much as you want. He's still 100% normal human being, just more more acrobatic and more powerful than the average one. And he's not Metro Man or Titan, so it will 100% affect him.
Yeah, like even if we granted that Megamind didn't use against Titan and Metro Man, Guru is not one of them, so that wouldn't make any fucking sense. Considering he can be, affected by his own weapons, and considering Megamind's weapons are just vastly strong, more powerful than he has, so it should be able to, affect Guru.
Yeah.
He is, but let's be kind to Megamind and say that's a win con base to base in an encounter such as this. But compare that one win con to pretty much like 5 win cons Gru has. He's physically much stronger, he's faster, more skilled, his tech is more versatile. All of his weapons should be pretty much instant win cons against Megamind due to the sheer gap in AP and such. But yeah, I think that base to base in an encounter like this, Gru would win, even though Megamind is smarter and his higher end stuff is probably more powerful. But I'm not gonna argue that Megamind in character is gonna, use the Death Ray on Gru. I don't see him doing that. But now, if we gave Megamind prep time,
No, he will
that's where the
100% do that.
conversation gets interesting. For our sort of alternate scenario, let's say that Megamind is informed of Gru's stats and capabilities and his versatility. I'm sure Megamind can make something that would be able to put Gru down. As that's how Megamind works more times than not. His brain is his superpower after all. So naturally, Megamind works a lot better when you give him some prep time. He has all
that's
the
true, that's
previously
true.
mentioned
Because he's mostly prep times like Batman. Because that's kind of the reason as to like how he was able to trap Titan and such. As for him not using the Death Ray on Gru, no, I actually see 100% that someone like Mega Man would 100% do it. But the thing is, I think that Gru would have the capability of actually somehow like surviving that Sun Ray. That the one that fires a super concentrated energy on the sun. Probably like using one of his own minions as shields, or like using his own minions to come at him as shields, since they are practically indestructible.
Yeah, but the issue is I don't think there is a single feat within the Despicable Me universe that has multi-continental levels of attack potency or anything durability. So
Yeah.
minions being able to survive that is a hard no for me at the very least.
I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't think it's fulfilled. So maybe this is like the only win condition that Megamind has.
Yeah, aside from if we take that they're both relative in speed, then Megamind can, actually able to dehydrate Guru and turn him into a cube, which is another win condition for him. But aside from these two, I don't think he has any other. Because
Oh,
in
wait,
terms of
wait,
combat,
I have something. It's probably that Gru will ask his own minions to go and hijack the Ray, and they can.
yeah, that can also be a possibility. But again, what will they go on? Because they literally need everything to make a rocket to travel to the moon. So I don't think they have the necessary stuff to actually go and hijack the Death Ray.
Yeah, but there's also
Unless,
another thing.
unless they know about the remote and know exactly where it is.
On the other side, by the way, I think that the Death Ray itself, like the fact that it needs a lot of time to like be charged, is kind of like the reason why it's not the absolute win condition.
Yeah, but it can create a lot of tension considering Megamind has more than enough speed to like put them in, keep them busy until the Death Ray charges up. But anyway, let's just move on.
Yeah.
super suits. Megamind's got all sort of giant mechs that should be physically stronger than Gru, in my opinion, despite what the power scaling says. But let's not act like Gru's a slouch if you catch him on, lacking. Gru's got a shrink ray, and he's got multiple flying vehicles with insane arsenals, and he's fought giant mechs before, so who knows? But yeah, in my opinion, if Megamind were to catch a win on Gru, he would need a pretty decent amount of prep time, because I think that in a base-to-base encounter, Gru is stronger, faster, and just every discernible advantage that isn't straight IQ. And even then, I'd say that Gru's battle IQ is much higher than Megamind's. So for all intents and purposes, today's winner is Gru from Despicable Me. Oh, and one minor thing, right? I remember a lot of people, when I put the poll up, were saying things like Megamind has world-threatening devices, off the quote that I found from the art book. And I did some snooping around, and Gru has the exact same statement. So yeah, how'd you guys feel about today's video? I think it was pretty out there, and I had a lot of fun making it. I'm always doing the kaiju and more battle-oriented versus matchups, but I enjoy kind of talking about the tacticians and the arsenals and the weapons and stuff like that. Kind of like my Planet of the Apes video that you guys also like. If you guys would like to see more battle analysis type videos like this, be sure to let me know in the comments, drop your matchups. And while you're down there, the comment of the week is Despicable. Dropping the comment won't only tell me that you're a real one, it'll also tell me that you're a fan of this type of content, and I'll be making more of it if I see enough support. But as always, I'll see you guys next week. But until then, stay big, G fans.
Yeah, so from his conclusion, I can pretty much say Guru wins.
Yeah.
9 out of 10
Unless, of
times.
course,
Unless,
Megamind is capable of pulling the win condition.
pulling the win condition.
Yeah. Unless we give them both prep times, I think then Megamind has a chance of winning. Aside from that, Guru just wins.
Mm.
Anyway, I actually have to like go now because it's almost 5 p.m. here.
Yeah.
So I'll be
I
in
also
the
will have to
stream.
go because my family needs me right now.
Yeah. Okay. So see you all, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks
Bye.
for having me, Red. I'll see you later.
Yeah.